Um,
All right. A very good morning to you, and thank you for staying with us. A bit of a technical hitch there from Doctor. From the command center there. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Miriam Ogutu, and this is Diplomatic Leaks, where we're going to look at is Qatar exporting terrorism in Africa, the latest activities that have been happening there in Mozambique, and also we'll go and look at Somalia as well and what has been happening there, and of course the ties and the accusations that have been labeled against Qatar. My name is Miriam Ogutu, and thank you so much and a very warm welcome to you. And joining me is Professor Jared Onyari. Professor, good morning.
Good morning to you, Miriam, Dr. Masanga, Daniel, and the rest of our viewers.
All right, thank you so much. And also Daniel, good morning.
Yes, very good morning, Miriam, Professor Jared, Dr. Masanga, our viewers here in Kenya, Africa, and the globe at large.
All right, Doc, I don't know if you've been able to, rectify. Yes.
Yes, I'm back.
Good.
Yes, I had to run from one studio to the other.
Yes.
And thank you very much, viewers from the Political Command Center. This is the Diplomatic Leaks. I'm sorry for the hic. Here we go now. The question of Qatar. I just want to make a brief 2 minute to 3 minute statement. Africa has been fighting imperialism and neocolonialism. The new brand of neocolonialism that has arrived on Africa is attached to the products that Africa has, minerals, oil, and other resources that we have in plenty. It looks like the resources are causing us more havoc than previously. The white commercial settlers came for land, occupied the land, took land, and made ranches. The new colonizers who are coming in to take properties, are coming in to take resources. What is in the ground? What is hidden? Gas. As you are aware, the Beira, the eastern coast of East Africa and of Indian Ocean, is full of gas reserves, oil reserves. One of those oil reserves is found in Mozambique, in the Beira Triangle. It is this Beira Triangle that we need to focus on today. An expert in Africa and Europe will tell you there's something that is a myth. Islamic militants, similar to those of Al-Shabaab in Somalia, have set foot and they have set base in the northern part of Mozambique, which is the southern part of Tanzania. As a result, it touches our well-being as East Africans. We cannot talk of being East Africans when we have not talked about Tanzania being well and the rest of the places being well organized and the security being given. It is therefore very important for us as a company, as a television station, as scholars, to concentrate on finding what is it that has made these countries export terrorism to the African continent. The viewers, if you want to join us, you can call us on telephone number 0795 638145 Nairobi. We shall put you through to put us your suggestions. Thank you very much, Wesong. Thanks. Let me bring back the topic. For many years, many people in Europe intelligence systems have been warning of an impending takeover by terrorists in one of the African states. We saw the coming of Boko Haram that actually took over the entire region of northern Nigeria, took over, drove people out of their houses and homes, left them destitute in desert. We now see the greatest danger, the danger that Al-Shabaab and ISIS have created on the eastern borders of Indian Ocean in Africa. Who is behind this situation? Who is creating the bases? Who is exporting? Who is funding terrorism on Africa? As much as we are talking about COVID-19, it is very important. It is very, very important for the situation that happened as it is in Mozambique. I therefore hand it over to Miriam to give us some background of what is taking place in Mozambique.
All right, very well. And Dr. Earlier this morning, we bumped on a very interesting story here. This is from a person who has inside story on what is really happening in regards to Qatar and how it is funding some of these, extremist groups and the activities. So let me just read a part of that. The title of this was Qatar's Dangerous Game in Somalia. Now, a European intelligence and they will be grateful to Qatar. So Qatar was duly hailed in Western capitals. For Qatar, the pot kept boiling at just the right temperature there in Nigeria. And in Eastern Africa, we see that radical Islamic violence was growing not only in Somalia, but also in Kenya and Mozambique. Both Kenya and Mozambique have recently discovered large amounts of hydrocarbon. In both Kenya and Mozambique, there is a strong presence of Al-Shabaab. Recently, the Islamic State also established a presence in the northern Mozambique. And also it continues, it is very interesting to know that Qatar Petroleum signed deals in Somalia, Kenya, and Mozambique for the exploitation of the offshore hydrocarbon fields in recent months. If past is any indicator, Somalia, Mozambique, and probably Kenya will see a reduction in violence in the near future and simultaneously a rise in Islamization. New projects by Qatar charity Sheikh Eid Al Thani charity will likely increase in Eastern Africa. And then it concludes by saying, where the United Arab Emirates and Saudi Arabia have been hailed even by the International Crisis Group, hardly an organization favorable to them, as playing an important role in creating peace in the Horn of Africa. Qatar's role has been less positive, and after the May 2019 attack in Bosaso, which was directed by Qatar, it is clear that Doha is a destabilizing force which aggressively pursues its own narrow interests. So we see there this is a very damning piece, and I would expect that perhaps the government of Kenya and maybe Mozambique will start looking at this very, very seriously. I'm not sure Somalia wants to even address that right now, but these are very serious, allegations here against Qatar, as it seems to be pulling the strings. And what we see now, the increase in the extremist activities there in Mozambique right now, and apparently in Kenya, they've given us a break for now. Professor.
Yeah, Miriam, thank you for that kind of introduction, and I want to have this to say. Qatar has been accused in the past of having close ties with Hamas. It has been accused in the past of having close ties with Al-Qaeda, Al-Shabaab, and ISIS. And you have rightly said of late, you don't hear the hijacking of the ships in the Indian Ocean. And you have said rightly that they have been involved in themselves in leading the negotiation when the ransom money is being demanded by the hijackers. What I need to say is that terrorism is a business. People gain out of it. And I want to connect Qatar to what is happening in the coast of Africa. Let me just have this to say. With an example of Democratic Republic of Congo. From independence up to this point in time, DRC have never enjoyed peace. Why? It's because of their natural resources, diamond, gold, precious minerals. And as the war continues going on, the planes are leaving to Europe every other day with diamonds and with gold. Why am I having making this kind of connection? I'm making this kind of connection that Qatar have been accused that they are part of Al-Qaeda, Al-Shabaab. And by the way, it is because nobody, and I don't want to say good of the Kenya Defense Forces. The moment Kismayu was captured by the Kenya Defense Forces, it changed all the arithmetic, and the people had to change the strategy. And in 2013, one of the intelligence spies, the river of Somalia, of Qatar, there was a suicide bomb where 8 people died. And we were never told who were inside that. And from that time up to now, as we speak, Qatar changed its objective and the role as the owner of Africa and the discovery of hydrocarbons. And as I have read the connection between Democratic Republic of Congo, you know, you cannot go to people's resources, natural resources, if there is peace. You must be able to cause some anarchy, and during that kind of anarchy, you will be able to have this kind of resources. That is how Qatar has manifested itself. Now, they are behind the ISIS, trying to cause some instability in Mozambique, around the Horn of Africa, as they are eyeing hydrocarbons. Mm-hmm. So we have got every cause to worry, because we have seen even Qatar here in Kenya. I think in Tana River, they went and leased some land to do agriculture. So after having done it, they appear as friends, but their objective is different. They want resources, they want oil, and they want land, so that they can be able to do that one. So that's why they are so much involved in terrorist activities, because terrorism causes fear and instability. And in that kind of process, you get what you want, Miriam.
Mm-hmm. So from this here that I've just read, this piece, titled Qatar's Dangerous Game in Somalia, but rather also they've given an outline of what Qatar possibly is doing in Kenya and also in Mozambique here. And part of this says that the Qataris also advise, like say, extremist group like Boko Haram to kidnap Westerners. Then Qatar steps in as the good friend to mediate, and then they pay the ransom on the behalf. And then, so this is a game it has been playing. And so perhaps even as a country here, even before we go to Mozambique, maybe we have been fighting the wrong enemy. Daniel.
Thank you very much.
Yes. Oh, yeah, Doc. Mm-hmm.
Before Daniel comes in, let me changa ikitu. Look here, Jamen. Time and time again on this television, I have been telling people that we are funding wrong people. We have been playing with the same rat that eats your skin, and then makes the skin pain not to be had until tomorrow morning when you go to the dew in the morning. The Then when you step in the dew, then you feel the heart, how the rat had eaten your skin. And that is Qatar.
Yes.
You are playing with Qatar. The international community rose up and said, Qatar is an axis of evil. The biggest problem that we African countries have is we have sold our lives, our fame, our brains to the Western money, to the money of these Arabs. We are killing our countries. Qatar is not a very good country. Qatar supports the director of intelligence of Somalia to kill us every day. Qatar pays people to kill people. That's why Saudi Arabia and the other countries in the Middle East, UAE, said your planes will have to travel very far, not near us, not come near our airport. We are stupid people in Africa, ourselves, and let's not blame. These people started settling there, trying to look for how they can stop the production of gas from Mozambique. This problem did not start today. 5 years ago, I wrote a paper and I warned the Mozambican ambassador who was in Nairobi. I said there is something wrong. I sat with him in the hotel in Intercontinental and I told him there's something going on in northern part of Mozambique which you must check out. I am happy today, as we speak, I'm vindicated. You know what? This ambassador said he's going to work on it. 4 years ago, what did I do? 4 years ago, I went and I investigated, followed this whole situation. Miriam, I followed it. And I want to tell you that after getting it, I saw a railway going to nowhere. I saw a road going to nowhere. This is in Tanzania. I asked my Tanzanian friends, why is Total Oil very eager to build the Tanga Mwanza railway and remove Lapset to Lochigwa in northern Kenya? Refused to pay for that, but the French were ready to pay for the Tanga Mwanza Lake Victoria Masindi railway pipeline. I said there's something very wrong. And that wrongness is going to appear in the future. Today, as I speak to you, I am again vindicated. Matanga is vindicated in a very good way, not bad way. I'm vindicated. I came back. The French decided to bring over 1,000 people to dig the railway. Those people have never returned. We don't know where they are. Magufuli, President Magufuli, later on, who had actually bragged and said, with the French partners, we are going to do it to shorten the distance of taking the goods across to Uganda and other countries without any hassle. After a few months, a contract came. The French said, unless you change the law to agree to certain conditions, we are withdrawing our loan. Magufuli, you remember what he said? He said he rather dies than accepting the conditions that the French had put forward. Now, I want you people to understand one thing. Whenever you see the Qatar, there is another country you see in the background.
Yes.
When you talk about abduction of Boko Haram, who is in the background? When you see Keita living through Saudi Arabia to go, from Saudi Arabia after treatment, Keita will sneak into Paris until we hear the funeral services and obituary. If God takes him earlier than ourselves. So everything that I talk about on this television comes true. There are people who have never listened to me. That Cape Delgado, is it the Cape what? Delgado?
Cabo Delgado.
Yes. Has been annexed. They have taken over. The area is, why is there no international condemnation? Why? You remember some time back, Miriam and the gentleman, ISIS wanted to plant itself in DRC Congo. You heard those statements that there was ISIS in DRC Congo.
They're still there.
So I went to this television station and asked, how on earth did ISIS fly from Syria into Congo? Somebody planted the ISIS in Congo. Now, when Tshisekedi took over power, I think we have a caller from London who would like to give. Hello, caller? Hello? 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 Hello, good morning.
Yes, hello.
Hello?
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, you want to contribute to this topic?
Yes, Matanda.
Yes, can you, you are calling from London. We were in the middle of the Qatar's export of terrorism on African continent. Do you want to make a contribution?
Yeah, I would like to make some contribution on that because I'm original from Mozambique, but I'm based in London now.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Go ahead. Do you want to make it on, or do you want to enter through Zoom?
I mean, I can do now on WhatsApp that we connect now before we lose signal or whatever they're connected.
Okay, go ahead, sir. Thank you very much.
Yes, Matanga, I just want to contribute. I've been watching your program for quite long, and I've been doing some contribution in terms of writing in your comments. But it's quite interesting topic that you have touched in relation to Mozambique. Because really what's happening in Mozambique is being, it's not being spoken outside, but there's a lot of issues going on in Mozambique. You're very right when you say that after that is being taken over. It is really being a serious issue. And it's very interesting that you bring in that topic because, who is funding this? I mean, definitely there is someone that is funding. But I'm not the expert on that to be making those accusations, but I would like to believe that there is some external hand on that. As we know that Mozambique has discovered the massive resources in the north of Cabo Delgado. So it's quite complicated. And also we can rely on government because our government is not being transparent in terms of the issues. So as you know, a few weeks ago, one of the best newspapers in Mozambique was put on fire because it's one of the best newspapers in terms of being critical to the Mozambican government, relation to corruption and all those things that are happening. So it's not being very transparent in terms of government. The media is not allowed to go into the ground in trying to find out what's going on. Some journalists have been arrested due to that. So it's quite complicated. It's quite a serious issue that needs to be brought up I know we're going through COVID now, but for me, what is happening in Mozambique is more worse than COVID itself. But it's interesting that you have that topic, and that's going to my contribution. But I would like to hear and listen to you and try to find out if it's really Qatar behind that. But
thank you very much. I want to take this opportunity, my brother, to tell you frankly that 4 years ago in Nairobi, I sat down with the Mozambican ambassador in Intercontinental Hotel, and I laid these factors to him that there is something which is happening in the region which could be very detrimental to all of us. As an expert on security and an expert on international relations, I told him there is a hegemony, the French hegemony. People looking for diamonds, people looking for gold, for oil, for gas. And these people have been embraced by the Tanzanian government. They are digging a railway to nowhere. They are digging a road to nowhere, to northern Mozambique. But these people don't seem to be, they don't seem to be real people. I even alerted my Tanzanian Director of Intelligence. I said there is something wrong that is taking place in that region. He's my friend, and unfortunately he has been removed. I sat down and I told your ambassador to go and tell the government, because I love President Chisano. I love him so much. I love President Nyusi. These are people that I have worked with. Chisano is my man. I've worked with him on peace process in the region. We have accomplished peace in Mozambique, in Madagascar, in Uganda, and so many other parts where we worked together. Myself, Nunu, Chisano, and the head of African Union in Mogadishu. He's a former Minister of State for President's office in Chisano's days. We worked together, all of us. So I am saying...
We do respect Mr. Matanga. I know that I've been following yourself big time. I'd like this any of your shows. I know that your background in terms of you're one of the very straightforward men that stands for his position and your view. I do respect that. But the reality for me, my question is that we have seen that what's happening it's all related to the multinational companies. If we see what's happening in Somalia, what happened in the case of Congo Brazzaville, Continua, it's actually the same multinational company that everywhere they put their ground, there is something going on. So I just want maybe you to comment a little bit about it, because it seems like it's happening with the same companies everywhere where there's
Total, you are right. Total Oil. It was in Tanzania was Total Oil. Total Oil from Uganda, Total Oil in Tanzania, Total Oil in Kenya, Total Oil by then in South Sudan. They went and did not find oil in South Sudan. They packed up their goods and said they are leaving South Sudan because they have not found oil. All of you read those statements, Miriam and the group. I am telling you, there is a new threat. And for us, the people who look after Africa, we in Zimbabwe, especially my Zimbabwean people, we are aware that the French are using that. If they destabilize the Beira Triangle, it is closer to Mutare, closer to Zimbabwe, for Zimbabwe to have a regime change. Therefore, I want to thank President Mnangagwa for sending troops. We have sent troops. Zimbabwean commandos are in Mozambique. We are going to fight it down until we reach a final destiny. I like the way Zimbabweans take decisions at times of this nature. I like the way Mugabe took decision to stop Museveni and Kagame from partitioning Bukongo. Yes, we need such African people. We need people who can stand up and take a stand, not to talk and talk and talk. Zimbabwean troops are in Mozambique to keep the law. Soon we shall reach. And I want to tell the Tanzanian brothers, don't underestimate this information. TPDF is a very strong, good army. Better move in to help Mozambicans to flush out these terrorists. Let's also retaliate by closing embassies of Qatar in our region, stopping their planes from coming here. Yes, why should planes come here when a country is sponsoring terrorism? Why? Are we stupid people? Are we stupid? And the rest of the neighbors, they have seen how they have stopped them. Then we African countries are praising Qatar. You are praising Qatar for what? Qatar in Somalia, Qatar pays for the oil crisis between Kenya and Somalia. It pays. I was in The Hague when I was doing this oil crisis job of petitioning the court against a Somali judge not taking part in this. I found Qataris, all of them seated in the hotel, moving with the Attorney General of Somalia. You know, in cars together, the embassy cars coming to collect the Attorney General of Somalia. You see, there are so many, it is a travesty that Africa land, let Africa stand up. We have a problem on our continent. Thank you very much, Mr. Sodio.
I do agree with you.
Yes, thank you very much. I don't hide.
Thank you, sir.
And recently, before you go, we have evidence that Qatar sent money to the intelligence chief of Somalia, who sends the money to Al-Shabaab, which kills people in Somalia. Then we are defending the Somalia government. What the hell are we doing here? The money network can be replayed here again. How many leaves Qatar, comes back to East Africa, leaves East Africa to Somalia, then Somalia to Al-Shabaab. Can you explain to me how Al-Shabaab has got new uniforms and the Uganda army has no uniform? They have a uniform of 2,200, 200 something. Can you? How they have AK-47, bright, new ones, when our guns are black and dirty? Where are they getting these guns? Can you explain it to me, anybody in the world? We are journalists, we are crying. Mozambique is going to be in chaos if you allow terrorists to take part of their territory. France is shifting a problem from Syria. It started the war in Syria. You see how many Syrians have been killed?
Yes.
How many? It is France that sent Kofi Annan, that lumpen, that the people call him eminent person, eminent my foot. What eminence? His eminence dealing, cutting deals with France that made him to be called eminent person. Kofi Annan was not eminent. Kofi Annan should be dishonored for having been eating deals and cutting deals with France to maim Africa, to maim Rwanda, to maim Liberia, to take Taylor to jail, to take so many, to maim DRC Congo, to maim Libya. You want me to keep quiet when I'm still alive? Then where will I talk?
All right.
When will I talk?
Thank you.
When will I talk? Mozambican people have never asked why Samora Machel, 25 minutes in the air, he disappeared. Nobody has talked. The woman is busy enjoying marrying so many other people in the continent. You people, we are cursed. My tears have never stopped dropping for a liberator like Samora Machel. A man I saw in 1978 in Ruvuma, in a Chingwe. I'm speaking with experience. I'm not a younger kid on this platform. I cry for him. Where did that commission of inquiry? Where did that commission of inquiry end? Oh. Where did the commission of inquiry? Madame Agresia Mandela has never explained to us. She has just moved on as if we have moved on. We have not moved on yet. We never moved on. One of our people was killed in cold blood. A plane was blown up in the airspace of South Africa. And you call that we have moved on? At least Matanga have not moved on. Until I hear an African, I asked Chisano, one day we are on a plane with Chisano all the way from Addis Ababa to Nairobi. In our business class, I asked him, my friend, you took over from Samora Machel. Why is there no African commission of inquiry? Huh? That question took us, you know how long? 1 hour. It took us about 43 minutes. We had an argument. I am honest. A very big argument. He said, oh, you come to Maputo, then we continue with the argument. I said, I'm going to follow it up. So I followed it. I went to Maputo to visit him in his house. His house is a very good house near he showed me around Maputo. He drove me around and showed me the house of the former rebel leader Dagama. They wanted to give him a house near the hill, and Dagama said, no, the house is near telephone installation. They will be tapping my telephones. He refused a very nice house. I think you are Mozambican, you know that. So yes. we continued talking. I said, don't drive me around. I want to know. Even if you drive me around, we drove, and then took me to a Brazilian restaurant where he left me with the PA. But nobody has ever answered me this question. To eat meat, there is a Brazilian restaurant in Maputo where you cut meat, they bring you cut. So, let me tell you, I am still one of those who still thinks Africa needs answers. Now Qatar is sponsoring terrorism. We are aware that the gas is the one causing a curse. They know. You know God is not foolish. Have you not said that before they can take this gas, it brought hurricane and die to destroy everything. Have you seen God warns us first? Then these terrorists come to pick the rest, and they have now established a base. We cannot wait. We must help the government of Mozambique to wipe out these insurgents. And I want to thank President Emerson Mnangagwa for taking serious steps to cross over the commandos. You know, there's one thing you can laugh about Zimbabwe. Zimbabweans are battle-hardened soldiers. You cannot beat them on that. They are well trained on the basis of British Army. They are well trained. The way they molested Museveni, who claims to be strong in Congo. Museveni's people were captured. Some of them I helped them to be released from Harare. Oh, shame upon you. Some of them should even be kneeling before my legs.
And Dr.
If I tell you how many people I released, some of them are there. I am telling you the name of God. I had to beg Mugabe to release some of them who were captured in Congo. So I've played a very good part. Although Museveni doesn't like me, but one day when we are seated before God, you will like me.
All right, Doctor. Before our guest leaves there has been some. I think last week during the African News, show, I read about a news that a U.S.-based company, which also I think has been given, an opportunity to explore the oils and the hydrocarbons there in Mozambique, was trying to give some humanitarian help there. I don't know, what does he think of the role of the U.S. in this chaos in Mozambique? I'm curious to know his thoughts on that.
He has gone, but I can explain. U.S. role is, you see, America is the only country in Western Hemisphere to accept Qatar, because Qatar has invested heavily in America. And then it follows that they swapped America. The French started supporting Qatar, and the French told them not to kill Iran. You notice that the vigor in which President Trump wanted to kill all Iranian commanders. You know that. He wanted to finish them. He went for one of them, the toughest guy. Precise with tomahawk. It's a lancer. It doesn't come for medium. Even if we are seated on that desk today, it only comes for me. You will only feel particles. They killed that guy. You remember the commander of the guards?
Yeah, at the beginning of the year, yes.
Revolutionary Guards. He was finished. That was the problem of the Americans.
Soleimani.
The French came in and said, no. Leave. We shall help you. Leave Iran alone. Because we have done deal with Iran. We are selling Airbus. Huge amounts of money. We are buying oil. We are buying this. You see, this is all international trading. Now, when you trade internationally, not trading in goods, trading in diplomacy. Give me this, I'll give you this. Battering, silent batter. That if you support me, if you support Amina, I will give you this. Talk about Amina, by the way, we want to know this week is the end of the week when they will choose the Director General of WTO. That subject Kenyans have forgotten. Again, we can wake up in slumber and then find ourselves gone. But let me hope and pray. I talked to her yesterday. I hope, I pray for her, and I pray for her to come back with success.
All right,
but
yes,
the Americans on this, they are not on Mozambique. My sister, they are on Zimbabwe. So any insurgents that can trickle into Zimbabwe, you know, say that last weekend, Zimbabwe captured about 4 people armed with rifles. A rebel group has been formed in Zimbabwe. Did you know that? And they killed 2. They captured 2. So you can see what America is doing. While they are saying this and that, they are funding something. They know what is going on there in Tanzania. Over several Tanzanian troops are clashing with these terrorists. And you remember, if Islamism is allowed to spring around that region, Bemba and Zanzibar, there will be a very big risk. So I conclude.
All right, very well. And Daniel, we've not heard from you, but from the initial, introduction there that I read this article titled Qatar's Dangerous Game in Somalia. Of course, it mentions also Qatar's activities in Kenya and specifically in Mozambique, and also there in Nigeria. That has really, shocked me. Apparently, all these kidnappings of the Westerners that are quite targeted. It has been from the orders of Qatar, kidnap anyone from Europe, kidnap anyone from the US, because you know how those countries feel about their citizens. They're very protective. And then Qatar will come in as the wonderful mediator who is able to talk to this extremist group, and then they'll pay for the ransom, and then these citizens will be returned back to their homes very, very safely there. And then Qatar will continue winning, the love and support of the Western countries. And somewhere there, this writer says, for Qatar, the pot kept boiling at just the right temperature there in Nigeria. This is something that should upset the government of Nigeria, or even ECOWAS for that matter, because this issue of insurgency is something they've been trying to deal with. Well, maybe not so much for Nigeria, but what do you make of that, those statements there, Daniel?
Yes, Miriam, it's very unfortunate that Qatar is now playing that dirty, treacherous game that the Soviet Union used to play in the 20th century in its bid to advance its communism agenda. The game of importing insurgencies in the various countries so as to destabilize the ruling regimes, and therefore they could find an easy landing for them to be able to impact their policies and safeguard their personal interests. And of course, they say there's an African proverb that says that when you find a tortoise on the top of the table, then probably someone must have put it there. And that is the situation that is happening in Mozambique, that is happening in Congo. How come that we find ISIS group, an Islamic group that is majorly based in the east, inside the heart of Africa? These are people who have been auspiciously put there to drive some personal interest. And when you look at Congo, this is a region which is rich in minerals. And as Professor said, when these countries, Qatar, France, ensure that there is a turmoil in Congo and people are fighting against one another, we always have a very continuous fleet of planes leaving Congo headed to Europe with the minerals and everything that is valuable from the soil. And it's very unfortunate that this is happening while the African Union is watching, our leadership is watching and is doing nothing about it. And I think Qatar should be, as Dr. Matsanga said, we should stand firm against Qatar's interference in Africa, as the other countries did with the Soviet Union until it crumbled down in 1991. We should even have sanctions against Qatar doing business with our states, in that unless they desist from doing these kinds of actions of insubordination in Africa, we shall not have very clear and workable bilateral relations with them. And we have to make it clear to them, together with the French, so that we are able to safeguard our sovereignty as a continent. We are also able to safeguard our resources and minerals in Africa. That will be my take on that, Miriam.
All right, and thank you so much, Daniel. Professor, part of this, piece says it is very interesting to note that Qatar Petroleum signed deals in Somalia, Kenya, and Mozambique for the exploitation of offshore hydrocarbon fields in recent months. So because of that, then if past is any indicator, then Somalia, Mozambique, and probably Kenya will see a reduction in violence in the near future. I think this article was done a few maybe months ago, and we've seen a reduction of extremist activities in the country. Is it because now Qatar got that deal and now I don't know. What do you make of these statements?
Miriam, I want to associate myself with the statement of Dr. Masanga and Daniel. There is no doubt, Miriam, there is a scramble of Africa at the moment. And this one has to do with the resources of the continent of Africa. Everybody wants to, which part do I just do this? And I've said that if you want to do this, is to you cause anarchy, you cause confusion. And if you cause that kind of confusion, then you are able to get it. You know, Qatar is coming from, the regime has moved from denying that it is not involved in terrorism accusation and the funding the insurgents. You know, if your neighbor tells you, your neighbor, you are with your neighbor and he tells you the people come to your house in the wee hours of the night, I cannot be able to say that one, but your neighbor who says next to you, why am I saying this one? Saudi Arabia, Egypt and other countries have accused Qatar to have been involved in funding terrorism. For them to rebrand themselves and change, they have said, okay, that's what it is here now. We are changing. We are casting the net wider. And the moment hydrocarbons were discovered in the coast of Somalia, Kenya, and Mozambique, they want a share of that. And when you go past that, you will find that even Turkey is involved. And that's why Dr. Masanga says that when you see Qatar, it's not even Qatar. There are some invisible powers, Turkey, France. So as they are focused on that now, as you see, they are focused in Mozambique. And I've said, the fact that the Kenya Defense Forces were managed to take Kismayu, it was the greatest achievement towards the war against terrorism. Dr. Masanga said, if Qatar is financing the government of Somalia, which supports terrorism, what does that one tell you? They are behaving like Qatar. And when you are saying that Kenya is safe, no. There is something the terrorists are organizing, Miriam. It is an opportunity they have not gotten to strike. So when you see the water is not moving, there is something which is happening. We have said that ISIS is in Syria. How have they found themselves in Mozambique, in the Democratic Republic of Congo? So Miriam, from the side of conflicts, as I understand the way how the terrorists operate, remember, you have been being accused from being a terrorist funder. What you have done is you have changed the strategy to see that you are not funding them, but you are with the terrorists. You have not denied them. Thank you.
All right, very well. And there have been hard evidence pointing to Qatar's involvement in the ongoing conflict with Al-Shabaab, especially in Somalia. More allegations are digging into Qatar's already.
Medium,
Yes.
Medium, let's come, before you move there, let's go slowly here. The release of the Italian bus.
Yes.
What did I tell you here?
Who mediated the release? Now
Qatar.
I forgot. It's Qatar.
Yes, I told you.
Was it
Look at
Qatar?
Hassan Omar now. He's very vibrant. He has come back with his head, a very funny head like this. He's now behind Ruto, supporting Deputy President Ruto, very 100%. But I told you, look at the books of the NGO that where the nurse was kidnapped from.
So exactly what this person is saying
In Kenya, in charge of NGOs, talk to us. Famba, Mr. Famba, you say there is somebody of NGO. Why can't he talk to us? We give him this information. Look at that. The release of the nurse reactivated some people's career.
Yes.
Hassan Omar was completely quiet. He was a patron of that group, of that NGO. But now the NGO has got money in Kilifi where it is doing a lot of projects. Yesterday I was in Mombasa and some man was giving me very important data on how I came with them on the plane. Some of the people from Mombasa. And we sat in the lobby there and I got all this information. I'm very good at picking what I want. So the Hassan Omar benefited from the Italian nurse. Some kickback, a drink on the back. You know? How could you? Let me ask you.
Mm-hmm. No, she was assisted by Turkey and Somalia. And you know, Turkey and Qatar have been working together very closely, especially.
But they are together.
Mm-hmm.
And who knew where the terrorist was? Is indeed the director of intelligence of Somalia.
Yes.
You Jamani, why do you tell people lies? Why are we being told lies here? It is the intelligence, the head of intelligence of Somalia knew where this woman was. This woman was not thrown on the streets to pick. Anybody could have picked because there was a reward. But this woman was handed over to the Somali intelligence. A man himself who has a Qatar passport.
Mm.
And then the guy negotiated a straight clean money. Ebesha, clean, handed over to him. Tell me. Have you seen how I have been telling you? Let's be very careful. Let's safeguard. Once in a while, let's talk about this topic. Because they open quite a lot of eyes of the intelligence systems in Africa. The situation in the Delgado area is not simple. We need African Union to come in to get the roots of this. It's not very simple, not just terrorists of ISIS. Someone is framing a war against us. And we should not sit here and yap. We are in chaos. Hala, hala, hala. Hala,
Hala.
Kwa chaos, ndio hiyo. If anything that affects Tanzania affects us.
Yes.
Although Tanzania wants to segregate itself, we are waiting for their results.
On what?
On everything, the election, the COVID-19.
No, COVID-19 is over there. Maybe elections, yeah. And CCM will be running against itself.
You have given up on Tanzania, Miriam.
Oh no, they don't have COVID.
I still bet on my Tanzania. I love Tanzanians, and I love Tanzania the way they helped us
They're good
to fight
people.
a war.
Tanzanians are good people. It's just the leadership there right now, I think, is quite complex. But it is serving the people, so it's all good. Yeah.
Abdesalam Ali, you cannot listen because the head of your intelligence in Somalia is a Qataris. We know him, but we are waiting for him to arrive in London. Where is your prime minister? He's gone. He's now common man. He can be picked like a small fly. Where nyenye mahar. Mahar. Nyenye mnacheza nyenye. You fika London. Nyenye wengine mnapigia hapa kelele. Nyenye. Where is your prime minister? That small prime minister who sold the oil in Indian Ocean. Tell him to fly to London. We are waiting for him. Fuck it. You have caused a lot of trouble in the region. Mnaua watu kila siku. Unakuja kwa platform yangu, unataka kuharibu show yangu. Kwenda, toka kwa platform. We don't want such people. That Lord, Somalia is a so do we eat Somalia? Do we eat it? Is it on our plate? We eat food, and our food is very good. It doesn't have Qatar money. Put an election, we shall take you. I have already instructed my MPs what to do. Nyenye mnacheza. Tunagongana na nyenye mpaka mwisho. Mnatupiga bomu kila siku, mnatupigia kwa nini? Tuko na kitu yenyu, tulikuja kuwasaidia. Mtu wake aterere. Thank you very much, viewers. You know, there are certain people who make very silly comments that, oh, this is your oil. Did you create it? Did you create the oil of the Salam Ali? Did you create the oil? Did you die? Did your mother produce you with the oil? Well, Nyenye, it is international law that is keeping us. I wish they gave us the authority to throw all of you in the Indian Ocean. Uganda would have done that, and the Somalia would be stable. Our policy was to just clean the whole place.
Doctor, it's okay. He has heard.
Well,
we were doing very well. Looking at the situation in Mozambique.
I don't want this.
All
you
right.
know what when I chase up?
Let's ignore
They
it.
come here to harass us on even our platform. Mnatupiga huko bomu, mnataka threaten us on our platform. Kwenda. Yuko in Mogadishu.
Amekwenda.
Yet you was in Mogadishu and harass. Don't harass us even here. Yini huko mnatupiga bomu. Hapo mnataka, you want to bomb us again. Kwenda. Toka. If you don't want to see, close your eyes. Here in Hassan, it is not hatred, it is the truth. The director of intelligence of Somalia has several passports. I have copies. Do you have your copies? You have the copies. Where is water? Get off. You come and bring a conflict in the region. Oh, Kenya oil, oh this, what oil? Were you producing with oil? We all found this oil here. We have been feeding you. We have been feeding you here. All the presidents of Somalia have been feeding in Kenya. They have houses. Their children are going to school here. Who is killing them? Don't try. At the same time, you are exporting terrorism from Somalia to Mozambique. You want me to keep quiet? You are expanding your territory on Indian Ocean. Enter. I have not said Somali people are my enemy. Somali people are not my enemy. I fight for the Somali people to have their money. There is a lot of money pumped into Somalia, but no, the leaders eat the money. They don't take it to the people. People in Somalia are very poor. They are very poor because the leadership of Farimajo eats the money every day. Vote it out. Vote Farimajo out, Kabisa. Vote him out. And my MPs are listening. 97 of them. Will you kill them tonight?
But also, Dr. Farmajo admitted that his government is usually under constant pressure by some Gulf interests there that are competing in Somalia. So sometimes, these countries are helping his country, so sometimes his hands are tied. And in 2019, Somalia's president said his government is under constant pressure to choose from among three rival, the Persian Gulf countries, Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, and Qatar. And the Somali government has tried to remain neutral, but of course, despite having a good working relationship with Qatar. So even other Gulf countries are not very comfortable with the close relationship that Somalia has enjoyed with Qatar. So it's a lot of proxy wars going on in Somalia.
Miriam, let me ask.
Yes.
And let me ask serious.
Yes.
Can you go and negotiate with terrorists when you don't know where they are?
No.
Why is it that Qatar is the only country in the world where terrorists go and negotiate from?
Doctor, I'm just shocked as you to learn that, you know, even in Boko Haram, they are the ones who are said to be pulling the strings there.
They are now telling I have received intelligence report. They are telling the Nigerian government that they will talk to Boko Haram. So how did they know where they are?
They have been talking to Boko Haram and funding Boko Haram, apparently, from
Exactly.
that piece I just read there earlier.
So you want me to keep quiet? Am I not an African? Am I not an African? Is this blood not African? Shut up! Nyenye. Look, another one. When it came to those Afghanistan, in Kandahar, those Taliban, it is again Qatar.
Yes. That is it.
So, why is it Qatar knows where these terrorists are? You give me an answer today, you people. Give me an answer. Why is it that even now, Al-Shabaab is negotiating in Qatar? How did they know them?
And Taliban too, the leaders are in Qatar.
Oh, yes.
This is something that should be removed from the planet. Yes. Yes. What will you do? There will be many Wesongas who will follow Matanga. There will be many professors, Miriams who will follow me. Even if I'm gone. You people, we cannot keep quiet about this. Qatar is causing instability in East Africa.
In Africa.
And Africa. How did they know Boko Haram? How did they know Taliban? How did they know ISIS? Why is it that is their hotel mattresses different from other hotel mattresses? Why are they hosting meetings of terrorists? Soon they will host meetings of terrorists in Kenya. Don't be shocked that they are even funding some people who are against President Uhuru Kenyatta. Angalia hapo Wesonga. Wesonga, angalia hapo. Yes, there are some people in Kenya who want money like hell. When they hear of money, they can even run in the middle of night, 2 a.m. to go and collect it. Munawajua. Your country is safeguarded when we talk. When we don't talk, the terrorists will come in slowly and quietly and dismember us. The other time, the money passed from Qatar to Uganda, from Uganda to Kenya, then back to Somalia. We saw the map. We have evidence here. Who was transferring the money? Was it Saudi Arabia? No. Was it United Kingdom? No. It was Qatar. So you want me to keep quiet? Look at this. Watch and Toboy hata kingine. Look at this. These guys are very bad. In fact, if I was the Minister of Foreign Affairs of this country, this Qatari ambassador would go back home first. They are making President Uhuru Kenyatta. Look, when we went for the United Nations slot, you tell me where Qatar voted. Mwambie mimi now. Tell me. Tell me now. Where did Qatar vote? Did Qatar vote for Kenya?
No.
Why are you giving them hostage here when I go up? That's why I like the former, the founding fathers of this nation were real. They are deadly. They hear like that, you get a plane and you're out, man. You don't vote for us. You have come to ask for our gas in Lamu. And you vote for empty Djibouti, useless. Up there, Djibouti, that kill you. It has only produces locust. You notice that all locusts that come to Africa come through Djibouti. Miriam, the locust that came to kill us here came from Djibouti. Not anywhere else, Djibouti. It receives locusts from the Middle East. Djibouti port. Then Somalia. Then it's Kenya, not only Kenya. It came through there from Djibouti.
Uganda.
Then up to Uganda.
Yeah, but Doctor.
No, when they reached Uganda, Museveni did a good job.
They ate them.
Got all the 200,000 men. You know, Uganda has got a very strong army, by the way. You know, our armies don't talk. It is great. It's a big army. There are some uniforms. I don't know where they get them from. I've never seen some uniforms in my life. I've been in the army myself, but hey, why? So in Uganda, you must study the time which uniform is coming for you. Miriam, this life, this world is not my home.
But Doctor, no. Before we start the choir, I think in conclusion, I think like. You know, that article I just raised there, you know, where it, you know, serious allegations are being thrown to Qatar on how it is destabilizing, you know, not just what you're seeing right now in Mozambique, but also, you know, some other extremist activities that are really bringing a lot of insecurity in the continent. So how then can perhaps African Union or ECOWAS in the Sahel region that has really suffered from these activities perhaps try to look into these allegations and try to make Qatar answer to some of these things that are really serious there as we conclude?
Now, let me tell you before they come, I want to, Mr. Ina Hassan says, I should redeem myself. Sir, let me redeem myself like this. I have been saying the correct words. The only thing is the annoyance. How you can tell a country like Qatar knows from Afghanistan, the Taliban, Boko Haram, ISIS, Al-Shabaab. They know them. So I don't know which language you wanted me to use. I am only asking how a country like that is able to know all these contacts of rebels, to call them to come to their hotels in Doha. Also, don't forget Sudan. You remember Sudan? They are full rebels. We are meeting. We met in Doha. So why is this country knows every rebel, every terrorist in the world? Why? That is the question. Ina Hassan, if you answer me, I'll stop embarrassing myself. And I just want to tell you, I have not done anything wrong. I have only spoken my mind. I have no hatred for the people of Somalia. I have hatred for leadership, which is poor in Somalia. Get it very clear. I managed to dislodge one called Hassan Harie. I will dislodge Faramijo. And I read my lips. They are here. Let me remove the glasses and then you take the picture. Take to him so that you know I'm not a walkover. So don't threaten me. This platform is not for threatening Ian. I am talking my facts. I have evidence of corroborated evidence from international intelligence systems. I'm not talking like a street vendor. or a pork joint seller. Neither am I speaking as a meat joint seller. I'm going to school and I have school papers, not in here, but where the civilization comes from. So don't tackle me.
He agrees
if you
with
want
you.
to tackle me with an argument, I have no problem.
He's saying the people
But
of Somalia
on this,
just
I have
victims.
evidence on Qatar. Thank you, Hassan.
Ida Hassan, tuonane later.
Ina Hassan, I'm
African
very
News.
happy with you.
Yes.
I will never quarrel with you and continue contributing, but I'm not going to apologize for nothing. I don't hate anybody. I only don't like the leadership in Mogadishu.
All right.
And don't push me further to tell you why. I'm not about 22 people from my clan who are guarding you and who are guarding people in Mogadishu.
Ina Hassan is a Kenyan here, so he's not even in Somalia.
No, I'm not saying him is to them.
Yes.
I'm not saying he's from abroad. He's a Kenyan friend of mine, and he knows where I go wrong. He says yes. I've not gone wrong on this one.
Yes.
I'm talking from the bitterness of the loss of my relatives
Yes.
killed by Al-Shabaab in Mogadishu. I'm not talking about the COVID-19 here. I'm free out of it. Hallelujah.
All right. Very well. And there he's saying that
So, Professor, can we answer the rest?
the
I
Somalis.
beg to move on and conclude. I will also conclude and we finish the program to Malize to end it. These people are in Mozambique. Don't lose that point. They are sponsoring terrorism now in Boko Haram. That's the question Miriam was asking.
Okay, very well. Daniel.
Yes,
My question was, can African Union and perhaps, a bloc like ECOWAS, because it has really suffered, that part of the world has suffered, we have also suffered here, and now claims that are being made that Qatar could be behind some of these activities, sponsoring and funding, the terrorism in those areas. I think these are very damning and serious, allegations that I would expect AU to look into, so that, because this is a matter that has really caused a lot of insecurity in this continent.
Yes, Miriam, before we can be able to seek the help of our regional bodies such as ECOWAS and the AU, we really have to have faith in it. And as it is right now, the AU is a shell of its former self. It's not efficient. It does not have even a clout on the international forum. And therefore, before we can be able to address this problem, we need, first of all, to empower these regional bodies in that they'll be able to have some substantial influence when it comes to matters affecting the region and also international matters. But as it is right now, the best way going forward is for individual African states to be able to call Qatar to a responsibility and be able to negotiate for their own interest on the table and tell Qatar to unequivocally come clean out of these allegations that have been made of it sponsoring terrorism and also insubordination in some regions in the continent. So it's up to, first of all, the individual states like Mozambique, like Democratic Republic of Congo, and many others which have been affected by these acts of insubordination from Qatar to come on the table and really demand and stress on their sovereignty. Otherwise, hoping against hope that the AU shall come in and be able to deliver any tangible solution to the matter of the ECOWAS, then that one will be quite a tall order on their end.
Mm-hmm. Professor, these are very serious allegations there. Why hasn't countries that have been mentioned here, why have they not taken any action against Qatar, and can AU do anything there, or ECOWAS as a bloc that has been affected there in the Sahel region with the insecurities that now allegedly is being sponsored by Qatar?
Miriam, before I come to go direct to your question, let me just have this to correct to our viewers. We are true Pan-African. and Africa is under attack. Africa has got men and women, and this is where we belong, and we must speak as it is. Dr. Masanga has raised a very fundamental question. How comes of all more than 184 countries in the world? How come so and so Qatar is the one who knows who are the terrorists, where they are hiding? That's the question we are asking. And remember, Miriam, it is in black and white. You know, the problem with the people in this world, on this country, in the continent of Africa, they don't read. They don't look for the information. And for heaven's sake, when we have looked for the information and we are giving them, don't think that the information is for us. Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, Egypt, Bahrain have accused Qatar of harboring Al-Qaeda, ISIS. They have said more than 59 individuals, 12 institutions have received support from Al-Qaeda. It is not us who have said that. That is the information which is in black and white. Miriam, hear this. There has never been political goodwill from Qatar to fight terrorism. For example, in the past, they refused to capture and convict suspected terrorist financiers. Qatar's Vision 2030 Miriam program is made to shape Qatar's role in the world over the next 10 years, and it will not be the one of peace, but the one of to destabilize other countries. That's why we are raising concern about Mozambique, and other African countries. So Isha and our viewers this evening, this afternoon, do you want us to see Africa being destabilized and we keep quiet? Oh no, we have got work to do. Miriam, let me just go and say something to do with African Union and ECOWAS. And we have talked about an invisible enemy. There is an invisible hand we are not seeing, who is carrying these ISIS and put them in Mozambique and the Democratic Republic of Congo. It is on land that they are working. Who controls ECOWAS? Who controls African Union, Miriam? Your guess is as good as mine. France is responsible. If France is responsible, Miriam, do you think there is anything that we expect out of that? No. As Daniel has said, Miriam, the only way the African countries will be able to do this, they must be able to cooperate with one another. They must enter into collaboration. They must be able to enter into cooperation. They must be able to enter into information sharing. If they do this, Miriam, they will come out strong. We have said it here, and I want to reiterate. African Union is as good as dead unless something is done to resurrect it, to resuscitate it. It is dead, and I want to repeat. Under Faki, don't expect anything to come from African Union because the triggers are being, the patterns are being switched from elsewhere. And what I've said this, Miriam, there is a scramble for Africa. The people need the resources of Africa. People need gas, people need oil. So if they were able to boast Faki as the chairman for African Union, what do you expect out of it, Miriam? Let me just rest my case there.
So
but we have got work to do, and we have to do it eloquently. We have to say as it is. Our work, what we are trying to say, this is a community TV. We are educating people. What you are going to do is upon you. Don't say that you don't know, because we have told you. Take time to read. Take time to know what's happening around the world. What we have basically said is what has been raised. Qatar, you are not a good neighbor. How do you know these terrorists? Why do you negotiate with them? Why don't someone else knows? I have said they have been accused that they are friends with the Hamas, Al-Qaeda, Al-Shabaab, ISIS. Miriam. Thank you.
All right, and they've not been accused because we know, the host, the leading terrorist groups there, and they've been hosting even some of the mediations there in Qatar. starting from that one in, is it Pakistan there? All right, thank you so much. And even Africa, as Ina Hassan there, you were advising. But still, yeah, we are on a new wave of another scramble for the continent. And I wish we just had leaders in this continent. Maybe that would have made a difference. Doctor, conclude for us.
Miriam, thank you very much. I want to take this opportunity to thank all of you, the viewers. This topic was brought because it needed Africa to rise up. As rightly the professor has put it, and Miriam has put it, how on earth does Qatar know where Boko Haram? How on earth can Boko Haram? Qatar tells them to go and kidnap children. We are being bought again as Africans. It is not the second scramble. The second scramble took place when coups were instigated on Africa. Bokassa overthrew the democratically elected government. Mobutu killed Patrice Lumumba. Aronzi killed Kuruma. Idi Amin removed Obote. Ziadi Barre was removed. Look, Ziadi Barre removed somebody. Gaddafi removed someone, instigated from the same sources. That was the second scramble for Africa. The third scramble is now, which is coming, which I agree with my brother Ina Hassan, that the problems that we have of Africa is, and they are, from Middle East, triggered from outside. We don't have we wait until the problem arrives. For example, Tanzania would have solved that problem of the French if they listened to us. Later on, Tanzania had to go to the Chinese to ask them for money to build the Tanga-Mwanza rail and the Tanga-Mwanza pipeline. But the pipeline in the Lapset was disorganized by none other than, guess what? The French. The French refused to pay for the Kenyan pipeline from Lamu, Lapset, up to Lodwa and Lekejua, someplace up there. It is sad, therefore, for us to sit here and pretend to be non-Africans and pretend to soften our voices and pretend not to tell the problem as it is. For me, that's not my culture. And my culture does not tell me to tell a lie. The truth is, Qatar is sponsoring so many things in the world. Some of them will be very dangerous. It is not me writing the reports. The international intelligence systems have monitored how Qatar has armed and sending money to the terrorists that have captured Delgado in Mozambique. We are aware of the difficulties and we shall not keep quiet. We are aware that Qatar has sponsored some people in Somalia to eliminate those who are proper real Somalis, who are trying to fight for the reorganization of Somalia. The torture that the opposition parties undergo in Somalia as a result of the head of the intelligence of Somalia, who is a Qatarese messenger and a cook. He cooks for them. It's great. Therefore, for me, I will not sit here and then praise and praise and praise. I will not. I will say it as it is, and I've said as it is. I'm not disappointing anybody. I'm not embarrassing anyone. I'm saying the truth. Those who think of the words embarrassing, when terrorists come to Westgate to kill, do they embarrass? Do they embarrass? They come to kill.
Yes.
They embarrass us. They come to kill us and we beg them. They even give you a Quran to read when you can't read a Quran. So they kill you. They don't embarrass. They kill. So if we see the danger going to come which will kill us, we shouldn't shout. I beg to move. And I beg to thank you, all of you, so much. For all of you, for giving. There's a lot of interest in this topic. Continue watching, continue contributing what you know. But for now, we have raised a red flag on Qatar. If they hate us, it's all right. But the truth will set us free. Thank you very much, Miriam. Thank you very much. From morning 10 o'clock up to now, 3 good hours marathon non-stop. Our throats need to go underwater for some food and drink some tea. Some of us some lemon, some of us some brandy, some of us some wine, some of us some water, some of us some food.
Some of us
And
some honey. All right.
And the what?
Some of us some honey in the water.
Yeah, the most beautiful ones go for honey.
Okay, I'll just go for lunch then. All right, thank you, doctor. Thank you so much.
The most beautiful one. Do you know why the word honey came about?
No.
It's honey. Honey.
Okay,
Do you know the difference between honey? Honey, how are you?
lunchtime.
Miriam, that is why you go for honey.
All right.
Thank you very much, all of you. Thank you very much. This is from the Political Command Center of Punchline Africa Television. I am Dr. David Hassan. Back to you, Miriam, in the general headquarters of Punchline Africa in Nairobi, Kenya. Thank you. God bless. Tomorrow, don't forget, we have a very tough, delicate debate. And we need sober minds here. The serious sober minds come in tomorrow, all of you. You are on the panel. And is it a myth or a reality about human rights abuses in Zimbabwe?
All right, very well.
Because we have had now, seriously, members of opposition themselves coming out that they effect some arrests in order to get some money. So look at it from that prism. Tomorrow, 11 o'clock, we have a stronger panel. Government ministers being put online tomorrow. You have seen Magwandi, the Director of Information, Minister of Information. They are strong candidates for tomorrow, and they have learned the lesson of better Zoom. So they have all decided to go to their offices tomorrow. So keep it going. It is hot. And Miriam, keep it as it is, honey. Continue to drink honey. Continue to enjoy honey. Continue to eat honey.
Honey is good.
And
Thank you, doctor. Thank you.
and I love all of you. Thank you very much. Kwaheri professor. Kwaheri professor, tazungumza na wewe baadaye.
Aya, sawa.
Leo tutakupigia simu.
Aya, sawa. And for the viewers, I'll see you here later at 3 p.m. with the latest news across the continent. Ina Hassan is saying it is strange that the U.S. is watching Qatar doing this. My question exactly, but let's meet here later. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye for now.
Peace must be our goal and our guide. And all that we strive for as a human family, dignity and hope, progress and prosperity, depends on peace. But peace depends on us.